Hey everybody, this is Blue, and we are going to talk about character creation in the Rolemaster system and for people who homebrew it. And so Rolemaster uses the 10 stat system. They have 10 stats that they use. D&D, if I remember right, was 7, and most homebrews, they adapt these rules, and I've really adapted these. And so let's go talk about the 10 stats in Rolemaster. But first off, we gotta look at the character sheet. This is my homebrew character sheet. You can see when you start off with the character, the two things you gotta decide first foremost is your profession, what D&D calls class, and then your PC's race. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a dwarf or whatever you like. Race and profession are the two things you need to decide before drawing up your character. Alright, then you can see right here I got this block and it will say stat, and then it lists 10 stats. That's the block we're going to be focusing on in this particular video. First you got the stat name, then you got the roll. You will roll your d10s. Some people are, it depends on how strict you are and what your goal is as a GM on this part. Because there are some GMs that say you roll 10 times and that's what you get to work with. I am not that way. I do want to have some fun with the characters, and so the second way that you can do it is that you roll 10 times, but you automatically ignore anything that's under a 30 or a 40. So this way you have some good stats for your character, and you can have a very positive time with your character. Some people say you roll 12 times and you get to get rid of the 2 lowest rolls. This again should make sure that you have some good stats on your character. But it is your game. You get to decide how you want to do it. I myself do the automatic removing of anything under 30. Okay. So, here are the 10 stats for the Rolemaster system. First one is CO, Constitution. This is your general health and well-being, your ability to take and recover from damage. Okay, so when you develop your body development, this determines the hits you have. Your stat bonus is your Constitution bonus. Okay. Self-discipline, this is the control of your mind over your body, your inner strength to overcome. Okay, your resolve. There are many skills that require you to have an SD. Such your meditative skills, your focus skills, it's about self-discipline. Next one is agility, AG, on that sheet. This is your manual dexterity. This is your ability to bend and move. Memory. This is your ability to recall information. That's ME. Next one, reasoning, RE on the sheet. Your ability to absorb, organize, and process information. In Rolemaster, those are 2 separate stats because sometimes it's about recalling a piece of information, but being able to recall it and process it are 2 different things. Sometimes you need to have the ability to reason, to process, to resolve a puzzle. It's not exactly your memory that's important, and so those are 2 very separate skills, but they are usually work together as well. Next up is strength. This is not just brute force, but your ability to use your strength to the greatest potential. Some tasks are strength oriented, but you have to have skill. So you cannot use brute strength if you are etching weapons. Okay, so that would be more of a strength and agility modifiers. The nice thing about Rolemaster compared to D&D is all your stats depend on, all your skills, depend on two stats. So something can be a strength agility, which is, not just how strong you are, but how flexible you are. Some can be your intuition and empathy, intuition and reasoning. It can be any combination. And so, which is nice, because if you had one bad roll, you're in D&D, it's not so critical with Rolemaster, because since you've got two stats, you could be really bad in your memory stats, but you can compensate a little bit with your reasoning. Okay, if that makes any sense. Next one is quickness, QU on the sheets. This is your measure of reflexes and your reaction time. So for like Rolemaster in combat, when you're trying to figure out your defensive bonus, it is your agility and your quickness together that determine your ability to evade damage. Next, that is presence, which is PR on the sheet. This is your control of your mind, your courage, your charisma, your self-esteem. So this in the D&D, I believe they call it charisma. Well, here it's called presence. Intuition. This is your combination of luck, precognition, ESP, your guessing ability, and they even said your favor with God. This is those hunches that you have, your gut feeling on a situation. And the last one is empathy. The relationship of the character and the world around the character. Sometimes you can feel the good in the room. Sometimes you can feel the bad in the room. This is part of your empathy. The last three stats, presence, intuition, and empathy, do play a lot in magic systems because empathy is connected with essence. And essence is what Rolemaster has divided into one of the three realms of magic. There's more than one, the three. And so there are some spells that require your intuition and your empathy skills. Okay, so each stat is important to learn. So, how do we figure all this out? This is my chart. Oops. Forgot to turn off the fan. Sorry about that. I smoothed out my stats. Rolemaster, one of the disadvantages it has with it being the percentile system, their bonuses were always given in increments of 5. It's either a 0, 5, 10, and all that. And while it was nice in some ways, it sucked in others, because you could have two similar races, and you could say you have like your regular dwarves and your petty dwarves. Petty dwarves are a little bit weaker. So is it 15 and 10? I thought that was kind of severe. So like for your constitution bonus, it's a 15 and a 12. Okay. There is a difference, but it's not as significant. All right. So you roll your dice, and there we got the first column, what your roll value is. How do you get 110 off of a 2d10 roll? If you roll above a 96 or above, you get to take one of your dice and roll it again and add it to that roll. So if you roll 100, you can grab one of the dice, roll. If you get the good old 0, that's an additional 10. That's how you get the 110. And that should be godlike stats. That should be something that is very, very rare. And so you can get up to a 75 on the chart for a bonus, and it works its way down. Like I said, I usually cut off around 30. Some people can do 40, because if you see at the very bottom of the chart, that's a negative bonus. I mean, you are so in that stat for the PC is so impaired that it takes away from their ability. And this could be a nice way to add a little backstory, because maybe you decided you were going to take 13, which is a negative 3, and put it to their, let's see, it would be agility. And so then if they are trying to evade, they can't. It's almost like they put themselves in the way of weapons. Okay? Now, I talked in the previous video about skill development. Well, this is where you get your development points. The next column, oops. Okay, because you see where you got your bonus. You know, you put your bonuses there. But the very last column, DEV, development points, you would be putting this number there. So, like I said, if you got the 110, that's 20 development points, and you can go all the way down the chart. You don't round up on the individual, but you add them all up once you get them all in place, and then you will always round up on your total. So if you had a total of, let's go 49.3, round up 50 development points per level for that character. And so then you take that 50 and you spend it on the skills. You know, most skills are a 2-5 value, which means you can develop 2 skill ranks. Your first one costs 2 development points. Your second one costs 5 development points. And so you can go, well, let's just do 1 skill rank on this skill, because then it's only 2 and he has some knowledge on how to do this. You can do that. And then there are skills that they can get up to 3. Like for the fighter, it's a 1, 2, 3 value. 1 development point for the first skill rank, 2 for the second, 3 for the third. Total of 6. So you can spend all 6 development points, and you can have 3 skill ranks in a weapon for your fighter. Same thing would basically be for like your mages on magical skills. And so this is how you determine your development points. The last category there you see is power points. And that is, well, shoot. Huh. I didn't put that category in. I put up the wrong paper. Okay, well, PowerPoints you just write down and add them up, and you can put your total right there. Well, right next to the development points. And again, you round up, and that will help determine how many PowerPoints you have on that character. Now, in the original Rolemaster system, they only counted 5 stats for your development points, and I disagreed with that. I believe that all 10 mattered, because, you know, because they used 2 stats for skills, I think all stats should matter. And so instead of only getting for the bottom 5, I do development points for all 10. And, the more development points you have, the more you get to develop your character, the more you get to develop it, the better it is to play with. All right? So that is it for the stats for the Rolemaster system and how I have altered it. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. And everybody, please take care and be at peace.